Maar eerst nieuwe jazz uit Londen van gitarist en zanger Oscar Jerome. Hij maakt deel uit van dezelfde vriendenclub als saxofonist Shabaka Hutchins en het Ezra Collective. En Oscar staat in het eerste weekend van november op festival So What's Next in Eindhoven, waar je nog veel meer opwindende jazz uit Londen kunt horen. Welcome. So nice to have you. You're going to be performing, I just said it, in the Netherlands on festival So What's Next. But to get to know you a little bit and to introduce you to our audience, our viewers, I'm just going to throw in some words and some quotes, mostly your own quotes, and you can comment on.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah.
Ready? Okay. My first musical memory.
Ooh, that's a tough one. Probably the first really clear one would be my dad teaching me to play the happy and sad chord on the guitar.
Oh.
Which I've since found out is an A major and an E minor. But for me, when I was about probably like 5 or 6 years old, yeah, those were the first two things I learned on guitar.
When I first started expressing myself through music.
Wow. Well, I was expressing myself since I was probably about 2 years old. I used to just sing all the time. I was just constantly singing when I was a kid. I started writing songs when I was probably about 10 or 11.
Yeah? Can you remember what about?
Probably about nonsense things that hadn't really happened to me, that I was just making up. Yeah.
But how did it feel to express yourself through music? Like, did the rest of the people that you knew, like your peers, do the same? Or was everyone playing football and you were playing the guitar?
Yeah, kind of. I've always had friends, but I've also always found myself slightly outside the norm because I've always just had this uncontrollable urge to play music and to write. So I would rather go home and start making tunes and recording things on my computer and stuff rather than going out and playing football. Right. I still did that as well. I still had fun.
So then what are you more, guitarist or lyricist?
Before I would have said more of a guitarist. Like, I studied jazz guitar, and for a long while I didn't even really say that I was a singer, even though I've always written songs. I think part of it was just a confidence thing because I've studied the guitar and I feel more competent on it.
Classical guitar?
Yeah, I studied classical guitar.
And then jazz guitar?
And then jazz from about the age of 15.
Yeah.
But I would say I'm both now.
Yeah.
But yeah, for a long time it was a guitarist.
There's some things that you said that are very interesting. I see music in colors.
Yeah, that's something I only really realized a few years ago, but I can basically every kind of chord or song or key signature, I can relate to a certain shade of a color, which I think really helps with my songwriting.
What would be pink?
Pink, ooh. A pinky purpley color would be like a D minor.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
South London.
South London. Yeah, I moved to South London when I was 18. I've been there for 8 years now. It's been a huge, huge influence on my life in general, but especially the music.
In what way?
Just the incredible diversity of musicians there are there. And I went there, I was studying jazz. I met a lot of musicians who were trained in that. But also I've ended up playing with a lot of musicians from different parts of the world, played with some different musicians from West Africa, and also a lot of rappers and producers. There's a real amazing community of electronic music makers, which has influenced me to then get into production as well.
Okay, the last one. What I try to bring together in my music is?
I try to create something new while paying homage to my many influences. And I try to bring together both the personal aspects of life and music, which I feel strongly about, but also things that I think are bigger than myself as well.
Like?
Um,
What is bigger than yourself? And when you also say, like, music is a vehicle to tap into something bigger than myself, are we talking about God, the universe?
I'm not specifically religious, but I feel like often when you play, especially because a lot of the music I play is quite improvised, when I'm playing with other musicians, you can kind of get to a point where you feel something is very unexplainable. It's like I was saying before, it's not a very tangible thing, but it's something you can only really get to through something like that. I think there's other ways you can. It's not necessarily just through music, through different types of art, or people might get there through religion, but also things like I was saying about social change and stuff. I think it's important to think about those things. And,
there is more.
Yeah, exactly. It's easy to get kind of so bogged down in your own creative output and not think about the broader world around you.
Yeah.
And I think it's good to be able to take a step back.
Yeah, I understand. Thank you so much. We're going to listen to you and have fun playing at So What's Next.
Thanks.